Hey WILDR folks, Alicia here. Today's mobility is all about releasing the front of the hips and stretching the hamstrings as well. So thank you for joining me. Let's get you out of here in 6 minutes or less. Now we're gonna start today lying down, and we're gonna start with a very gentle hip flexor release. And what I want you to do is take your hands, find your hip bones, that bony part on the front of your hip, and you're just gonna roll inside on both sides at once. And we're gonna take 6. So from there, we want gentle pressure, and I want you to take 3 really deep belly breaths. Now, the point of this is not to squeeze incredibly hard. We just need gentle pressure here on the muscle. And one last time, I really want you to fill your belly as much as you can. Make that belly huge, fill it with air. Good stuff. Now we are gonna come up into a lunge position and do the rest of the day. So to start off with, I'm gonna get you to kneel on one leg and put the other leg out in front of you. With your pelvis tilted back, so if my hand is on my hip, my thumb goes down, I'm going to move forward until I feel a stretch through this front part of my hip. When I find that stretch position, no matter how far ahead I am or back, I'm just gonna hang out here and breathe. And we're gonna hang out here for 20 seconds-ish before we move on. So really pay attention to how you're feeling today through the front of the hip. Move around a little, see if you can find an area of tightness. Own this stretching session. Good, and now I want you to try and put the toes of your back leg, drive them into the ground in order to use this muscle. So drive them into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now relax, tilt that pelvis back. You might find you can go a little bit deeper into this stretch. We're gonna hold it for 3, 2, 1. Now I want you to sit back just a little bit so that you can get the heel hinging and the toes high on your front leg. From there, we're gonna hinge forward with a nice extended back this time until we get a stretch through our hamstrings. Now, if you need to for this one, you can put your hands on the ground, on your thigh, or on anything, other kind of raised surface. I'm gonna use a box. We wanna feel like we're balanced here, and that's gonna allow us to get into a deeper stretch. Now there should be a gentle bend in your knee. If you really need to, you can bend it quite far. As long as you are able to access a stretch through your hamstrings, I am happy. Now we're gonna do the same thing we did when we were stretching our hip flexors. I want you to drive your heel into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, now relax, and you might find you can get a little deeper into that hamstrings stretch. Awesome job. All right, we are now going to switch sides. So I want you to bring your other leg up. We're then going to, here, I'll move around so you can see me, tilt the pelvis back towards the back of the room, thumb goes down, forefinger goes up, and we will move forward until we get a stretch through the front of our hip. Now, depending on the day, this is going to look very different, the position you end up in. So I want you to start each day fresh and find out that stretch for today. Good job. Now I want you to drive those back toes into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, relax. And you might find you can move a little deeper. Remember though, don't let that pelvis tilt forward. Keep it tucked under in this movement. Good, breathing into that stretch. And now I want you to sit back on your heels, move your support item if you need to, and hinge forward. As you're doing this, let the right hip sink back to keep those hips pointed straight ahead, not to the side. And find that stretch through the back of the hamstrings. Now, if you're also feeling this through the quads, or sorry, through the calves, you can relax the toes a little bit to find it in the hamstrings, unless you're looking for a calf stretch today, in which case, bring those toes nice and high. All right, we're gonna drive the back heel or front heel into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now relax, see if we can get a little bit more of a stretch. All right, we're gonna come into our last exercise of the day. So lying on your tummy, and you can have your head down or up depending on how you feel. I want you to reach one leg up towards the ceiling, and that's just going to stretch the front of the hip flexor, and we're gonna pulse that 10 times per side. You should feel your butt working here. You might have a little bit of hamstring working as well. A little bit of low back is okay. Really try and find a stretch through the front of the hip. Good, we'll go on to our second side. Small moves here. Core is still engaged and active. Awesome. And that is it for today. I hope you feel more mobile and you have a wilder week.